Coming up next on Columbus Connections, the Public Works Department has some great things happening. They're headed in a great direction. We're going to tell you all about it. Stay tuned. Welcome to Columbus Connections. I am your host, David Britt, and today we are talking about a department that affects everybody in the city. No doubt, if you live or have set foot in the city of Columbus, you have benefited from our Public Works Department. Now, the pandemic in 2020 has brought a lot of challenges for a lot of people, maybe not as much as for the Public Works Department, but they are headed in a great direction, have some great new opportunities for the city, and we're here to talk all about it. They even have a brand new Public Works Director. Even though she's a new director, she is a veteran to the city, hard worker, one of the champions of city government. It is none other than Ms. Drell Short. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you, David.
Welcome back. It's been a while.
It has been a while since I've been on. It has
now,
been.
First, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
I appreciate
that. And let me
that.
say that you are well deserving of the promotion of being the Public Works Director.
I appreciate that.
And you've put in a lot of work. You've been here for a while. You've had a lot of different leadership positions. You've made great connections, have a great reputation with the city. Tell us about yourself and a little bit about your background.
Oh, wow. So I've been with the city, like you said, for a little over 38 years. I've worked in different capacities in the Public Works Department. I've always had a passion for public services, so Public Works and I was just a great fit when I started my career. Most people know me from working in animal control. I worked there for almost 16 years, and that was a very challenging division to be over, but it was very fulfilling in a lot of ways. But there came a time for me to move on, and then I went into fleet management, which is a totally different ball game. So, and that's one of the things about Public Works that I like. It's just so different. Everything is different. And so now I'm as a director, so I'm very pleased and honored and just humbled to have the position and looking forward to just moving forward for the department.
Yeah, that's awesome. One thing about Public Works that you said, you learn so much about leadership in so many different capacities.
Correct.
There's so many moving pieces. Tell everybody who may not be as familiar with what Public Works encompasses, what all of the duties and things that are under Public Works.
That's a lot. We have 14 divisions. I think I counted them right. We have everything from landfilling, recycling, your waste collection, your right-of-way maintenance, your forestry division, we have a GIS division, we have stormwater management, which is your rainwater. Mm-hmm. We have fleet management, which is keeping all of your public vehicles working and on the streets. We have the city cemeteries, which a lot of people don't realize. Yeah. We have historic cemeteries right here in Muskogee County, as well as, I'm trying to think, I'm going down the hallway here, street maintenance, heavy equipment, which is your off-road equipment. So it's
just like everything that people need but don't stop to think about.
Absolutely.
Everything that people take for granted basically is under
Public Works.
Yeah.
And that's when we know when we're doing a great job, because you don't pay any attention to it. It becomes a part of your life.
Isn't that interesting? It's kind of like, I guess maybe like the lung or something part of you. You never take a chance to thank your lung.
You don't.
Or thank your heart, but you know when something's going wrong, it's an immediate emergency.
It's an immediate emergency, and everybody knows it.
Yeah, and for that reason, I know you and your team, a lot of times, your job can be thankless, and a lot of times you only hear from people when there's a complaint. Correct. So just let me say thanks for all that you all do.
Well, we appreciate that. We have a group of very hardworking employees. Most employees have been dedicated and working in that department for a while. And they just believe in what we do. And so they're skilled labor. They're not necessarily blue-collar laborers, but they are skilled individuals who are very talented in what they do.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, 2020, it was big.
2020 was interesting. 2021 was even more interesting.
Tell us about how, because that doesn't even scratch the surface of it. Tell us about how Public Works was impacted by the pandemic.
Well, as you know, with the pandemic, social distancing was a very important aspect of it, right? We had to make sure that everyone would social distance appropriately. Well, when you think about Public Works, the majority of your workforce are traveling from the office or the fleet yard to a work location in a vehicle that will house anywhere between 2 to 6 people. And you can't put 2 to 6 people in a vehicle. Even with your garbage collection, you have a driver, and then we had 2 inmates on the back. That's 3 people in a vehicle. So that was one important lesson I think that we learned as a department in the future when we have pandemics of this nature. And I pray God we don't have to go through it again, but we had to start really thinking about how we were performing our jobs. Which way did we need to go next? What should be the best practice for us to move forward in? And that's how we came up with automation.
Yeah, and that's where we're going now, automation.
That's where we're going now.
Through all those challenges of 2020, we really learned a lot from it. We're really stepping into a place where we should have been a long time ago, but really going in it and looking at it the right way, and now we understand so much about it. Tell us about what we're doing as far as automation.
Automation is going to be a wonderful change for this community. I think people are going to be very interested in it because it's something new, it's technology, but they're also going to be very challenged by it because with technology and change comes requirements, right? So the first thing that they'll be receiving will be the 2 new 96-gallon carts. One will be black and one will be green. The black is for your household garbage. The green is for your yard waste. And then they have to be placed curbside with the wheels touching the curb, right? But 3 feet apart. So people think 3 feet apart. Why do they need to be 3? Right, there's a reason for it. So the sidearm truck, which is your new garbage truck, has a mechanical arm that literally comes out, grabs the can, picks it up, puts it over, dumps it, and then puts it right back where it got it from. So if you have something stationary in the way, there is a great possibility that that arm is going to hit that stationary object, which can cause damage, and we don't want that to happen. And so we want to make sure everyone knows to make sure there's at least 3 feet if you put out multiple cans, between the 2 cans or 3 cans, whatever it's going to be.
So garbage collection is going automated. You'll no longer see the inmates on the back. There has been some conversation about that for a while, but it's going automated now, and it's for many reasons.
Right.
So there are going to be some changes. I know change is a big word,
change is going to be challenging.
The changes are for the better because now you go into an automated system that makes it easy.
It makes it easier, plus it affords us the ability to cover open routes. That was something else that we have been challenged with this year due to the pandemic and due to just the environment in our country right now is staffing shortages. But with the arm, we are able to do more routes in a quicker manner. Whereas before it was really dependent on the human body and how fast they could keep up with that truck. But this way we don't have to worry about that. The person is in the truck. It has dual sides to operate it. They can pick up and go. What they have to master is the joystick. That's what operates the arm. So with a younger work group that are more familiar with joysticks and know how to operate that technology, they'll be much quicker at picking up waste than using the 2-man method.
All right, so you'll notice some changes, but garbage collection is going to be quicker, easier, and a lot more efficient.
And a lot more efficient.
When do we see this whole change taking place? When can they expect the cans to come out?
We'll start delivering cans in February of 2022. The trucks we are putting out for publication for specifications within the next couple of weeks. It should be out. We're looking for trucks probably around June, July. But I don't want the public to panic thinking, okay, we've gotten these new 96-gallon carts, and now what do? We don't have armed trucks yet. Well, our old trucks, our current trucks, have a flipper on the back. And a flipper is a device that you just hook the can to, and it flips it over and dumps it for you. So that was a plus. We knew we needed to be able to transition easily. So the first part of the transition is to get people the new cans. Get them used to using these cans. We want them to get used to recycling. There are a lot of people who don't recycle. Please start to recycle. Remember, the more you recycle, the less you have to put in your household garbage cart.
Now, do people have to do anything to get these new receptacles?
No, those 2 receptacles will be delivered to every residential household in Muskogee County.
Wow, okay. So everybody's getting a black one and
everyone's getting a black one and everybody's getting a green one. That's a little different than how we did the recycling. Recycling was based on your request to recycle. So then we had to deliver only to those people who were recycling. This is not a requested service. This is part of your household garbage collection. So you will get a black and a green can.
And for the green, as far as your land, your yard waste, It's great to leave it in the yard and just help your fertilization.
It does.
But you don't need a bag. Don't
You
need a
don't
lawn
need a bag.
You don't need a lawn bag.
Nope.
You don't need a lawn bag.
Nope.
Do you need a lawn bag?
No, you don't need a lawn bag.
You don't need a lawn bag.
You don't need a lawn bag. Just put it in that 96-gallon cart. We'll dump it, leave it, and we'll come back in a week and get some more. But we would prefer that most people start learning how to compost. Basically, is what you're doing. It is great for your lawns. It will help your lawns to grow and make them green and pretty and everything else. But if you choose not to compost, then please put it in the bag. Put it in the cart. Don't use a bag. Just put it in the cart.
Gotcha. So coming 2022, waste pickup is becoming a lot more efficient. You don't have to do anything. It's going to come right to your doorstep. There are a few little specifications. Let's repeat those again. 3 feet apart and wheels
3
up to
feet
the
apart and the wheels on the curb, right to the curb.
Awesome. Now, tell us some of the other things that go on in Public Works.
Oh, wow. Public Works, like I said, we have street maintenance, which we see a lot of people call in a lot of work orders for pothole repair. And oftentimes people don't realize what they're seeing. Though it feels like a pothole, it's not a pothole. So people say, well, how do you know the difference? It's very easy. If you see that there is a cut in the road, there's a complete square or an oblong shaped square, something that was cut out, that is a utility cut, which means that that was done by a utility company. A pothole is not planned, it's not cut, it's worn. And so you have jagged pieces all around it. That's a pothole. But one of the things that we like for people to know is that if they know the difference and they tell us in advance, then we immediately know what to do when we get out there, or if we need to go ahead and call the Columbus Waterworks or the gas company or someone of that nature, because it is in fact a utility cut that they may have forgotten it needed to be safed up, and we go ahead and take care of it if we need to let them know. The other aspect of that too is that during the winter months, we want to repair potholes, but it's hard because of the temperature on the ground. So we use a chemical or a product called Cold Patch to do a temporary patch of the pothole, right? But this year, for the first time, we've got an asphalt heating machine. It's called asphalt. Oh my God, I can't believe I can't remember it. But it heats the old asphalt. So when you go out there and you've got all these asphalt chunks laying around, we can also take it from resurfacing some roads. We can take that hot asphalt, heat it up, and reuse it instead of using Cold Patch, because Cold Patch after a while will just pop back out of the ground because it's too cold. So we're really excited about using that this year, and hopefully that will be more of a permanent solution for our roads when we do have those small potholes that are around. Awesome. That's one of the major changes we're doing this year as well.
And something else you're passionate about is just the beautification of Columbus, reducing litter, keeping Columbus beautiful.
Keeping Columbus beautiful, because this is a beautiful city.
Yeah.
You go to other places and you see their cities and you think, wow, this is really different and it looks nice. But we have the same things here. Columbus is a beautiful city, but it breaks my heart when I go down the street and I see just litter. And I don't mean, plastic bags. I mean McDonald's cups and Burger King wrappers and all these different restaurant, carry-out containers and things that are just tossed on the ground. And Columbus is such a beautiful city. We can do better. I know we can do better. And it's just a matter of being conscious of the fact that just keep a bag in your car and put your trash in the bag. Don't put it on the ground. And when you get out the car, put the trash in a trash can. So it's just something that we need to be conscious of and really practice as a community. And I guarantee you it will make the grounds look different.
Now, going back to 2020, the job that I work with for the city sometimes requires me to be out and about. And I remember after the quarantine, everybody just decided, you know what, I need new furniture. Literally every street, there was a sofa or a bed or something out on somebody's lawn. I could only imagine how much just the quantity of having to deal with all that would be. First of all, what was that like? And second of all, if somebody has a couch to get rid of, what's the proper way to do it?
Oh my gosh, you are correct. I think everybody in Columbus, Georgia ordered new furniture during that point in time, or ordered furniture that they'd been putting off because of it. I think the quarantine meant people wanted to be comfortable, so they did what they did. But we had a ton of furniture out there, and to be honest with you, it's still a lot of furniture out there. People are still just getting the furniture that they ordered. But we had to go and look at the best way to get it off the ground. And because of our staffing shortages, we decided to go out and to find some vendors that were capable and able to help us get up all of this bulk waste, is what we call it. And so we had about 19 vendors who were eager and did an awesome job going out there just picking up all the bulk waste. And they did a great job, and we are still picking up a lot of bulk waste. It never ends. Solid waste never ends. So it's just something that we stay mindful of and we try to stay on top of. But if you do have furniture that you have to dispose of, you want to dispose of, please feel free to put it on the curb line for collection, and then call 311. 311 will send us a work order, and then we can get you scheduled to get that debris picked up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, if anybody needs to reach out to Public Works, how can they contact?
They can contact us by calling 706-225-4676, or they can even email me directly if they'd like at drailshort@columbusga.org.
Awesome. See, I told you guys, Public Works is in great hands. Now, there is so much more to talk about with Public Works, so this will not be Drail's last time on the show. If you have any questions, please reach out. And again, we want to appreciate these guys, because this team, in the storms, in the hard times like the pandemic, these are the people that are really on the front line, keeping our city beautiful, keeping our city clean, keeping our city safe. So we appreciate Drail Short and all of the team at Public Works, and we appreciate you for watching Columbus Connections.